Hello, you are most welcome. I'm teacher Ivan. I welcome you to our first lesson under graphs of quadratic functions. A quadratic function is that in form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are integers, meaning they can be either positive or negatives. The graph of such a function is a curve known as a parabola, and that curve has one turning point which we normally call the vertex, which might be minimum or maximum depending on the nature of the function. Still, the curve is symmetrical about a line which passes through the vertex and is parallel to the y-axis. This is what we mean. This is our U-shaped curve. Actually, we obtain a U-shaped curve when our A is positive. When the value of A is positive, then we shall have a U-shaped curve. And now this dotted line is showing the line of symmetry that cuts this curve into two equal parts. This line must be parallel to the y-axis, as you're seeing, and must pass through the turning point or the vertex of the curve. Then we can also have the N-shaped curve if the value of A is negative. For instance, if you have negative x squared plus maybe 5 minus 4. If this is negative, then we shall have such N-shaped curve. Still, it has a line of symmetry that passes through its turning point or the vertex and is parallel to the y-axis. So that is the nature of the quadratic curves we shall be looking at. After looking at the introduction of quadratic graphs, then let us look at how we sketch these graphs. So we are looking at sketching graphs of the quadratic functions. We shall look at the steps as we work out some examples together. So our first example requires us to draw the graph of the function y equals to x squared plus 5x minus 6 for the range of x values from -7 to +2. And hence, they require us to state the coordinates of the vertex. Remember, the vertex is the turning point of the curve, which is either maximum or minimum, depending on the nature of the curve. So, this is our general equation. Now, we are going to get the values of y using the given range of x, but processing them using the general equation. So we shall first of all split these terms. We shall have the values of x first. We shall have x squared. Then we shall have 5x and a constant -6. This is a negative. This -6 is a constant. So for it, it maintains its value everywhere because it is a constant. Then the values of x squared, we are going to square the values of x to get x squared, as we've done. Then 5x, we are multiplying the values of x by 5. So we obtain the values of 5x. And now, after filling our table, we are now going to get the values of y. How do we get the values of y? We are following our equation, which is x squared plus 5x minus 6. So we get the values of x squared plus the values of 5x plus negative 6 to get the values of y. For instance, x squared negative 7 squared is 49. When we add this and that, we get 8. The same applies to this. This is 36 plus negative 30, giving us positive 6 plus negative 6, which gives us a 0. So getting the values of y, we consider our general equation, whereby we are adding the values of x squared plus 5x plus negative 6. So we are adding these three values to get y. And after getting the values of y, we are going to consider, we are now looking for the points that we are going to plot on our graph. So we consider x and y values, x and y. So the first point is negative 7, 8. So this is negative 7, 8. Then negative 6 is 0. Negative 5, negative 6. We have negative 4, negative 10. We have negative 3, negative 12. We have negative 2, negative 12. We have negative 1, negative 10. We have 0, negative 6. We have 1, 0, and 2, 8. So these are the points that we are going to plot on our graph to have the quadratic curve. So let us do that. Okay, when we plot, we are plotting negative 7 and 8. So this is negative 7, 8. That's our first point. The next one is negative 6, 0. So negative 6, 0 is there. We have negative 5, negative 6. So negative 5, negative 6 is there. We have our next point is negative 4, negative 10. So negative 4, negative 10 is there. We have negative 3, negative 12. Negative 3, negative 12 is there. We have negative 2, negative 12. Negative 2, negative 12 is there. We have negative 1, negative 10. So that is negative 1, negative 10. We have 0, negative 6. 0, negative 6 is there. We have 1, 0. This is 1, 0. And we lastly have 2, 8. So that is our last point, 2, 8. So that is the last point. And we must name the curve, which is y equals to x squared plus 5x minus 6. So that is how we sketch a quadratic curve. And now this one is U-shaped, and now this is the turning point is down here, or the vertex. So if they ask for the coordinate of the vertex, we are recording this. So mine is around, because I've used an interval of 2, 2, and I've used 5 small boxes to represent 2, meaning that each small box has 2 divided by 5, which is 0.4. And now, according to my curve, it has taken 1 more box from negative 12, meaning this is at negative 12.4. That's the y coordinate. Then the x coordinate, I've used 1, so meaning I'm dividing 1 by 5, which is 0.2. And now If I check, it is at the second box from -2. This is -2, then it's at the second box, meaning I'm adding 0.2 times 2, since there are 2 boxes, which is 0.4. So it is -2.4, that's the x value, and the y value is -12.4, meaning that my coordinate for the vertex is -2.4 and -12.4. This is my coordinate for the vertex. So that is how we sketch the quadratic curve of the quadratic function. Otherwise, we shall look at more examples in our next lesson. Please don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notified and we learn together.